this is finally planted. It took me 2 days, really. One day to undo, another day to replant. When I say replant, I mean put pot and put the soil in. So people do it right. I'm going to give you some tips in this video. So if you are planting your Phytopod, you can benefit from my mistakes. My nieces and nephews always think I'm such a know-it-all, but I tell them, look, I only know it all because I make a lot of mistakes. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. The first step in setting up your Phytopod, or I should say first tip, is rather than using the zip ties to attach it, I think using twine is better. As you can see, the zip ties kept coming off the bamboo top, and I just found that to be annoying. So I have a couple of them where this has happened. So just secure it with some twine. Maybe you could use the zip ties at the bottom like I did there. The other thing that's a good tip is when you're filling up your irrigation tubes, cap it. One of them came with a cap, like a little cap, plastic with a I don't know, like rubber band, I think. And I wasn't sure, you know, what that was all about. So if yours don't, just get some baggies and get some rubber bands, and it'll keep the dirt out. You might want to also go to Home Depot and maybe just get like plastic caps. You know, I think they sell them for this PVC pipe. And then another little tip, I wrote on my tubes, it doesn't matter where you probably write them, but I wrote them on the inside because I figured the sun wouldn't fade it. But I wrote what level each tube represented. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's because you need to buy a Phytopod, and then you'll understand. It's an exclusive club. Anyhow, also, as you're filling it up, speaking of levels, mark each level. Because what I did was I goofed, and I didn't do that, and I made a couple slits, and I went, uh-oh, this is not at the right spots. So if that happens to you, here's another little tip. See, look at all the mistakes I made. You just take some newspaper. I took some wet newspaper, folded it up, and I stuck it in the little slit, and that's going to plug up the dirt. So no harm, no foul. You know, this material's really sturdy, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I really, despite having to break it down and put it back together, I had to break it down because I screwed up when I was originally planting this, and I didn't have the irrigation tubes level with the top of the Phytopod. And you could even see, like, really what I think it was. I probably did, but the soil compacts. And so really was probably this high, and then it goes down. Even though I watered down the soil, it still did that. So anyhow, you know, I'm a Virgo, so these things bug me because I'm a perfectionist. But I'm just going to be okay with this, that it's not level, because that was a lot of work. Okay, another tip, and possibly a product development option, Mrs. Phytopod, since you are a sower, I would really like if you could buy mesh. You could buy and bug deterrent, and all I do is I clip it with these clothespins, and this helps keep the dog out, because I had this planted, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you know Happy, she's mischievous, and what she did was she actually took out the seedlings from the first planting. So in a way I was glad that she did that, because then I knew, hey, this dog's going to fool around with this. And then also I don't have to worry about, it's a form of pest control too. This will keep the bugs at bay. So it's a dual purpose. But what I was thinking you could do is just make a bulk mesh, and you could make a, I know this looks like a wedding veil, but it's not a wedding veil. It's actually my doggy. This is, I actually, for the first time, I ran out of plants versus me running out of space. As you can see, I didn't plant the upper portion because I ran out of plants. So I have some, which is a Japanese radish right here. So anything deep rooted would be great for the top. And then I thought also sweet peas would be a great, this would be a great vehicle to plant sweet peas, because sweet peas get really heavy and they need a trellis. So anything that needs a trellis, this would be really good. Probably not tomatoes, okay, but anything other than that. So like string beans, green beans, sugar snap peas, all those would do really well at this. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if there's been lots of background noise. But anyhow, I'm so glad this is finally planted. I am so grateful for the Phytopod stand. Thank you again for sending this to me. That was so nice of you. I will definitely be doing update videos to show you the progression of the growth of the Phytopod. I think it's a great product, I really do, and I'm looking forward to subsequent seasons. And my last tip for you, when you order the Phytopod, buy extra inserts. I don't know, I'm just a Girl Scout and I don't like to run out of things. So I think this will last for a few seasons, but the thought of not having my insert, being without it, I don't know, it creates a little anxiety. So I'm going to go online and order a couple more. Okay. Happy gardening!